You wake up, and before you even fully open your eyes, your hand reaches for your phone. You tap the email icon, you put down to refresh, you see 10 new messages sitting there. Some of them have little red flags. And just like that, before you even had a glass of water or brushed your teeth, your work has already begun. We all do this. We have built our entire working lives inside a tool that was invented 50 years ago. And every single day, we feel like we are drowning in it. But I have good news. Actually, I have some incredible news. The inbox as you know it, that endless, stressful list of unread messages that you have to sort through by hand, is dead. By the end of 2030, scrolling through a list of emails is going to look exactly like flipping through a dusty old phone book. It will be something people used to do by hand because they didn't have anything better. Today, I want to show what is replacing it, and I want to show you the rise of AI agents, how they are completely changing the way we work, what happens to the job market when AI does all our chores, and how we are finally going to get our time back. Let's start with a very simple question. Why are we so tired? Every generation thinks they work the hardest, but we actually have the proof. Recently, researchers looked at how tens of thousands of people use their computers at work. They found something they call the infinite workday. The average worker gets more than 100 emails and over 1,050 chat messages every single day. They get interrupted by a ping or a buzz every 2 minutes. The day doesn't start at 9 and end at 5 anymore. It just leaks into our mornings and bleeds into our nights. But here is the craziest part of the research. The average worker now spends almost 60% of their day just communicating about work, and only 40% actually doing the work. We spend more than half of our day just coordinating, sorting, and talking about what we are supposed to be making. It feels chaotic, but it is not your fault. You are not disorganized. You are just one human being trying to act like a human router. Think about what email was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a digital postcard, one person sending a message to another person, but over time, because we didn't have anything better, we started using it for everything. So, email became our to-do list. It became our filing cabinet. It became the place where we make decisions and then immediately lose those decisions in a giant pile of text. The pipes were laid decades ago and now the flood is your problem. For years, tech companies tried to fix this by giving us better inboxes. They gave us folders and color-coded tags and snooze buttons. But guess what? None of it worked. A decade ago, studies showed we spent about 28% of our week on email. Today, after all those fancy news folders, we still spend 28% of our week on email. We kept building shinier cockpits, but we never stopped to ask if human being actually needed to be flying the plane. So here is when everything changes. For a long time, AI in your email was just a polite little autocomplete. It would guess the end of your sentence or suggest a quick reply like, "Sounds good." That was a neat trick, but it didn't save you time. But you still had to open the email, read it, judge it, and click send. You were still doing the heavy lifting. But in the last couple of years, AI evolved. It went from being a chatbot to being an agent. An agent is completely different. A chatbot talks to you, an agent does things for you. It has a memory. It can look at your calendar, read your old messages to understand how you normally talk to a specific client, and figure out what needs to happen next. So let's imagine how a day will look in just few years. You wake up, you do not look at the list of unread emails. Instead, your AI agent gives you a short, easy to read morning brief. It says, "Good morning. You received 40 emails overnight. 35 of them were just receipts, newsletters, and quick questions that I already answered for you. And here are the 5 things that actually need your attention." Below that, there is a list of actions. The agent has already drafted the replies. It has already checked your calendar to schedule a meeting. It has already found the file your coworker asked for. All you have to do is read it. Maybe tweak a word or two and click approve. You just went from being a clerk who types all day to being an editor who just reviews the work. The heavy, repetitive, context-holding labor goes to the machine. The judgment, the relationships, and the final decisions stays with you. Now, how does this actually work behind the scenes? It sounds like magic, but it is just a new set of rules. Underneath all the surface, tech companies are building ways for AI agents to talk directly to other AI agents. If you want to set up a meeting with a client, you don't have to send 3 emails back and forth saying, "Are you free Tuesday? No, how about Thursday or Wednesday?" Instead, your agent securely talks to their agent in the background. In a fraction of a second, the two robots compare your calendar schedules, find the time that works, and just put it on your schedule. You never even see an email. But this gets even more powerful when you look at how whole teams work together. Think about a company's customer support inbox or a sales team's inbox. Right now, it is usually a complete mess. Everyone is looking at the same pile of emails, wondering, did someone reply to this yet or not? This is exactly what companies like Jamilia's are solving. They realize that the teams doesn't need a prettier, shinier inbox. They need a shared brain. Jamilius uses AI agents to act as an invisible traffic cop for your team. When a customer emails your company with a problem, the agent reads it instantly. It looks up the customer's history, it realizes that this is a technical issue, it routes the email directly to the lead engineer, and it drafts a suggested reply based on how you solved the exact same problem 3 months ago. It keeps a living, breathing checklist of every promise your company has made. Who owns what to whom and by when. It never forgets, it never gets tired, it never lets a customer fall through the cracks. It does all of this right inside the Gmail system you already use. So you don't have to learn a complicated new software. When you let AI orchestrate the messy parts of teamwork, humans finally get to hear the music over the noise. But I know what you might be thinking right now. It is the big, scary question. If robots are reading our emails, scheduling our meetings, and writing our replies, what happens to our jobs? If AI can do the heavy lifting, do company still needs us? It is completely fair question, and to answer it, we have to look at the history. When the tractor was invented, people were terrified that farmers would run out of work. When the computer was invented, people thought accountants would disappear. But it didn't happen. The work just changed. The job market is going to go through a massive shift, but it is a shift away from robotic work and toward human work. Right now, so many of us are paid to be human copy-paste machines. We take information from an email, we put it in a spreadsheet, we send a message to a coworker, and we do it all over again. This is not what the human brain was built for. We were built to solve puzzles. We were built to be creative. We were built to empathize with other people. When AI agents take over the busy work, the value of being human actually goes up. The jobs that will grow the fastest are the ones that require human judgment. The AI will do the 80% of the work that is boring and repetitive. You will do the 20% of the work that requires ethics, taste, and empathy. This is going to change entire industries. Take marketing, for example. Right now, companies send out billions of marketing emails every day. They use flashy subject lines and fake countdown timers to try and trick your human brain into clicking. But what happens when an AI agent is the one reading your email? It only cares about facts. If a company wants to reach you in the future, their marketing has to be genuinely useful. They have to convince your smart assistant that their product actually solves a problem for you. It forces the whole internet to be a little bit more honest and a lot less annoying. Now, we have to talk about safety because handing over the keys to an AI sounds risky. What if it emails your boss something crazy? What if it accidentally deletes $1 million contract? This is why the future is not about replacing humans. It is about what experts call supervised autonomy. Supervised autonomy means the AI is like an incredibly smart intern. It can do all the research, it can write the report, it can prepare the email, but it cannot push the big red send button without you. Certain things should never ever be fully automated. If an email involves a legal contract, spending money, or really sensitive human conversation like firing someone or apologizing to a big client, the AI steps back. It hands you the drafted document and says, you need to take it from here. For the last 20 years, we have had this idea of inbox zero. It was this goal where you try to answer every single email until your screen is empty. But it was a trap. The reward for answering email is just getting more emails. It was a treadmill that never stopped. What AI agents give us is something so much better. I call it inbox zero gravity. It is the feeling of weightlessness. It is the state where your inbox just stops pulling on you. The machine reads the flood of data, it sorts it, it tracks the promises, and it hands you a quiet, organized list of things that actually matter. We are moving from a world where we serve our computers to a world where our computers finally serves us. Think about the internet before search engines existed. It was a giant, messy library with no index. You couldn't find anything. Then search engines came along and suddenly the world's information was at your fingertips. Email right now is the internet before that search engine. It is a giant, messy pile of data. AI agents are a tool that will finally make sense of it. The inbox as a chore is dead. But the freedom to do your best work, it is just about to get started. And I, for one, cannot wait to see what we will build when we finally get our time back. This is Hangmi speaking from Jamilius. Thank you for watching.